Let me hit record. So, but before we do that, I wanted to give you guys this tidbit of information so that while I'm going over like pages, you guys can be thinking about questions or concerns that you would like to have brought up to corporate. You know, could be anything. And at the end of this call, we'll kind of talk about it if you have any, and or if you don't want to talk about it here, just message me. I have a meeting tomorrow with my mentor from corporate, so I'll be able to bring up concerns for the team and all that kind of stuff. So start thinking of those. How many of you guys have a like page? Raise your hand. Pretty much everybody. Okay. So back when I first started my like page, it was basically just another Facebook page. Same things I posted on my regular Facebook page. So it was, recipes and fitness and all that kind of stuff. And I would promote it here and there for likes, or I'd boost some posts. And although my likes grew, as far as people who liked my page, my actual likes and comments did not grow. So I felt as though it was very, that I was putting money into something that wasn't working. And I thought, hold on, that they were fake likes. So some people can get fake likes on Instagram, fake accounts, stuff like that, because I wasn't seeing any return in the numbers I was seeing. So I started doing a whole bunch of research, talking to some of the top coaches that have amazing like pages and that's where they get most of their clientele and coaches from, and started implementing here and there things towards my niche that would work on my like page. And that started December 28th of last year, and it has blown up. So I kind of wanted to go over some of the things that I've done that I find have been crucial and beneficial to me and my like page. So let me get you there.
You can read a book. You guys have till 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, I'm coming in there. If you guys aren't in your own beds, you're grounded.
Hold on a second.
You have 20 minutes. You have till 9 o'clock. That's plenty of time. Go. Hurry.
I'm going to screen share. Here is my like page. Okay. This same picture here, it's very clean. It's very simple. It's the title of my like page. It's also the title of my blog and the title of my generic free support group that runs indefinitely, that I just put people who don't want to purchase right away, or people who have purchased and been through a challenge group that get transferred over. That's called the same thing as well. I post about health and fitness, but I post mainly about my niche. So my niche is godly women, Christians, things like that. So I will post things that have to do with God and all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, these are generic reaches for my posts. Generic means these are just people who have liked my page that have seen my post. The post has reached. If you look at this is a paid reach. So it's not the same. This is not organic reaches. Okay. So that just shows you that I'm getting the likes and the comments and stuff like that I'm actually having interaction with people. So one of the main things that I do on a daily basis for my like page is I have an ad for likes. Okay. Now, when you're doing this, you're going to go up to this little arrow guy right here, and you're going to do a create an ad. And then you're going to promote your page for likes. And honestly, this does not have to kill your budget. I run my page likes ad for $2 to $3 a day indefinitely. So it just runs continuously. You can pause it when you want to pause it. I actually have a threshold for spending. So when I have reached $50 in that threshold, my account is charged. So you could do, when you reach $10, so that you know that you're not going to overdraft your account or whatever. That's totally up to you. So then you hit continue. You come down here and you can put in all of your demographics. I do United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico because those are the 3 places we ship to. I do my age range. As to my specific age range, I do 24 to 45, and I do women. And then the interests, and this is where you're going to put your niche. It's not where you're going to put health and fitness. It's not where you're going to put working out or lifting weights or anything like that, because you'll attract a lot of Beachbody coaches. So you want to attract who you want to speak to and who can relate to you in things outside of Beachbody realm, where you can build a relationship from and then start to invite them, or they see a post you've done and they contact you. So you can put as many as you want in here, and then here's your pay per day, and you can adjust what it is. This is the big thing. So you can upload your own picture, you can browse the library, or you could search or whatever. The library is all, this is the one that I have running right now. You can do stock images. So these are all Shutterstock pictures. So they're not illegal for you to use, basically, because if you go pick up a picture off of Google, it is illegal. So you can choose one of these, so you can look it up, Faith. And it'll come up with a whole bunch of different stuff. And like I said, this is the one that I'm using now, and this one works. You can do up to 3, I believe, maybe 2. 2 different ones, 3 different ones. And Facebook will rotate them. And you'll be able to see in your ads manager which post or which picture is getting the most page likes for you. And I just so happened to pick, my first try. The only picture I put up is the one that's been working for me. But you can do that, and then you can stop the rest of them if one's getting a lot more than others and all that kind of stuff. And then down here is where you're going to put your little text that's going to come up above. This is obviously your preview ad. And this is what, I'm sure you've seen it in your news feeds, people sponsoring their ads for you to like their page or whatever. It also comes across saying, oh, Kaylee Hennessy liked this page, That's what people are going to see. So you want something that's going to attract them to your niche, okay? And then all you have to do is come down here and hit place order. So that's what I do as far as my page likes. You can see in here, if you go to manage ads, you'll be able to see all your ads. Come on. So here are all the ads I've run. All the ones saying not delivering it, obviously they're over. But you can see, here's my page like one. It's the only one that's active right now. It's always been active. Here's the amount of likes the page has gotten. And this is the cost per page like. So for everybody that likes my page, I'm spending about 8 cents, which is pretty good. So that's kind of, and if you look at this, the total spent, this is since December 28th. So it's now April, which is pretty good. And this is where I see most of my challengers, most of my new contacts come from here, because we have a common interest and they've liked my page already and all that kind of stuff. As far as boosting posts, everybody, if you talk to them, they'll have a different time of day or time of week that they post or will sponsor a post. But I suggest that you, 1, play around with it, and 2, figure out the time of day and day of the week that you get the most response to posts that you post on your like page, because that's when the most people are seeing it. So that's when you're going to want to do a boosted post for. Some people say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Some people say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Some people say make it random. It's really whatever works for you. I'm the type of person that just makes it random. Whenever I feel like running an ad, I run an ad. It seems to be okay with mine, but I would suggest that you look at where and when you're getting your likes, comments, whatever, and go from that. Okay. When you boost a post, it's all right here. You just click boost post. Very simple. What I do, and I suggest that everybody on this call do, if you ever boost a post, I know a lot of people do, the people who like your page, because obviously that's who you want to see it, right? Because you have however many likes on your page. But a lot of your Beachbody Coach friends are going to support you, and they're going to like your page and all that kind of stuff. So when you target people who have liked your page, you're also targeting their friends. So if I came and liked your page, you are now targeting my friends on my friends list that are my potential customers. So I don't do that because I know a lot of Beachbody Coaches, when I first started mine, have liked my page. I went and I go to people you choose through targeting. Now I just have a much wider variety of people, and more people than just my 4,000 likes on my like page, because there's only 4,000 people. But through targeting, I could have 67,000 people that could see it. Okay. So same thing, you're going to edit your audience and you're going to put in your niche. Because, for example, stay-at-home mom, they don't have to love health and fitness to see a health and fitness ad and want to know more. Okay. So it's not somebody that has to be into health and fitness to see an ad or to want to get involved because they like it. Stay-at-home moms, full-time working moms, full-time workers, like whatever it may be, they all need to, somehow be healthy. So you find your niche and that's who you pitch it to. Here is a total budget. So I normally set it for $20 to $30, depending on how long I'm running the ad for. And it says right here, boost this post for X amount of days. And it breaks it all down for you. You will spend X amount of dollars per day with this budget. Okay. When this $5 has run out for the day, and that will go based off of before, when I said those likes are 8 cents a like. So let's say you have 10 cents per interaction on this post. When that 10 cents reaches $5, whether it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon or noon, the ad will stop running for that day. Does that make sense? And then the next day it'll pick it back up. So you can change, how many days you want it to run for. And then you want to just hit boost. If you come down here, I lied, that's not how you do it. They changed this. You can create here, it used to be down here, you could do a advanced audience, but it's all right here now. So that's what I do. It's very simple. You can see what it looks like. So if you want to tweak it between people looking on their phones and looking on their desktop, because sometimes it looks funny, so you want to make it pretty. You want it eye-catching. What's pretty cool is with each budget, it'll tell you exactly how many people you could reach. So like, look at this budget. You have $1,500, you could be reaching this amount of people. And you'd be spending $375 a day. But like I said, I do between 20 and 30. And there's no 30 here, but I just do choose your own, and you can type it in. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? No questions? Nicole, do you have a question? Because you're on mute.
So when you first developed your page, did you start building it first before you started sharing it with people? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You have enough posts on your page that you can start inviting people to like it. Because you have like 5 or 6 or 7 posts on that page about food and all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you have value in your post as well, or in between the posts. So like if you do a food post, like a picture of your food, like let's use your vinaigrette that you just did. That was on your regular Facebook page, but if you did that on your like page, and you posted that, then your next post would be, a tip about clean eating, something of value that people want to come back for. Whether it's you share, one of the 5 pictures that you posted, the recipe, in the next post or something like that, because then they're going to come back and say, okay, that looks really good. Maybe they'll even comment and say, could you share this recipe with us? And at that point, when you hook up your blog, you could do the recipe on your blog, give them the recipe link from your blog right inside of your like page comments. And they can actually go to the blog. There's more click-throughs through your blog, which means more people who see your blog. It's a whole running game. So if you run your own challenge groups, and this is good for anybody, like if you run your own challenge groups, you have a blog, whether it's just an informational blog, use your blog links in your challenge groups to boost the amount of views on those links. Use them everywhere you possibly can, and don't be afraid to reuse them. Okay, so if you did a recipe about, a quick and easy breakfast on the go, a year ago, and you're going away, 2 weeks from now, post it again then, because you're on the go. Most people don't remember, but take that advantage. So yeah, I think that you can actually go through and actually click, invite these people. You can invite all of them. You can do a post on your regular Facebook page and just put the link to your like page. Give them a little bit of synopsis about what they're going to be able to obtain from liking this page. And then, you could do a giveaway, like, my top 5 recipes on a recipe cards for the person that invites the most people to like your page, outside of Beachbody Coaches. So you can do fun things like that, so that you gain more likes without having to do, so much advertising for money.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask you one more quick question? Sorry. So, all right, so I posted that whole big recipe thing today on my regular page, but then I was like, shit, I should have posted it on my like page. Is there any way you could, without having to redo the whole thing twice, that I could just post it on both simultaneously, or no?
No, normally what I just do is I just copy and paste. So if I'm posting something on either one of my pages that I want to right away post on the other page just because I want to get it over with and I haven't posted, I'll just write it all out, copy it, and then post it on the other page. Now, an easier way for you would be to take those 6 or 7 pictures that you took, and go into PicMonkey and create a collage of them so that it's just one picture.
Gotcha.
And then you save it as the title of whatever you're making, and then you can just upload it to the other page. If you really, you can share from your like page to your regular page, but you can't share from your regular page to your like page.
Okay.
I don't think. Can you? Anybody know that? Kate, you're on speaker. You're on mute.
I'm pretty sure you can from your page to your like page.
Okay. I know, like when you hit share, you can request those. So it could be, maybe that's what it is, a page you manage, which would be your like page. You can just share
you can
onto your like page.
It just can't be an Instagram picture.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? It's really important with a like page to make sure that you find your niche before you spend all this money. I spent a bunch of money trying to promote it before I found my niche. And like I said, I feel like there were fake likes. My likes on my post never went up, nothing. And I basically for probably 6 or 7 months just stopped using it. And then back in December, I picked it back up with completely changing the face of it in my posts and what I'm going to be talking about and the target market I was going to be reaching. And it's blown up ever since. So if you don't know what your niche is, I suggest that you take some time to think about it and really dive into who you are and who you want to reach. Okay? Any other questions? Hold on, there's one in the chat. Yes, Kate, it is a write-off. I know we were talking taxes before. Yes, and that's Facebook advertising. It's advertising for your business. So it is a write-off. Just what I do. Okay, let's talk a little bit about taxes here because I haven't had a lot of tax questions. Last year I took 30% out for my taxes. This year I'm taking 35% out. According to my accountant who deals with a lot of Beachbody or a lot of multi-level marketing companies, we can write off pretty much everything. Pretty much. There's not really one thing you can't write off. So he even told me that I could write off 20% of my electricity, even though, look, I'm going to show you my bedroom, even though my office is in my bedroom, and when my last accountant told me I was not allowed to because it wasn't a designated office space. So, I got to write off a bunch of money, for business purposes. So what I do is, anything business related that's purchased online or Facebook advertising or whatever, I don't know if you get a receipt from Facebook. I don't think I've got a receipt from Facebook, but I've changed, instead of using my debit card on Facebook, I use PayPal. So PayPal will actually send me a receipt in my email when Facebook has taken out the money that, from my threshold, so that $50. So every time I get that email, I take the email and I put it in a receipts folder in my email box. So anything that I do online that is for the business, the minute I get the receipt, it goes into a receipt box so that I have the proof for it. And then as far as anything that I buy outside of, online, I try to separate orders. If I don't, I will highlight the receipt. And the minute I walk in the door, it goes into an envelope for Beachbody. The company that I'm with for taxes is not so, they're not so strict with having receipts, but obviously it's good to have the proof of what you're writing off. But they're, like I said, they're not like, okay, you need to have this, this, and this. They will go to bat for you for anything with the IRS. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Facebook advertising is advertising. If you hire anybody from Elance to do some of your work, like growing your Instagram or anything like that, that is all write off. It's an assistant from another country. Trying to think of what else. Shakeology is a write off. Your business service fees are a write off. Your club membership is a write off. Your trips are a write off. Clothes for your trips that you buy are a write off. Well, Brittany, talk to your accountant. With my accountant, they are. So yeah, just basically I just made a list of all of my expenses and sent it to them. And if they had any issues, they would tell me. And if they didn't, they didn't. And literally, I just wrote clothes. That was workout clothes. That was professional clothes that I had to wear to like a party event or something like that. Mileage for travel. Eating out when you are away or traveling is another one. They have even gone as far as going to bat for people who have multi-level marketing companies for like all of your Starbucks runs. Oh, praise the Lord. No, I didn't write them all off, but because you have to think network marketing is so much different than any other business. When we go places, that is how we market. So we're talking to people, we're creating conversations. So basically anywhere we go could technically be a write-off, but you don't want to red flag it. So be wise. But there was a whole bunch of Panera Bread write-offs for me because that's where I would meet with my coaches. You know, one local place with the local coaches here. And if I bought dinner or anything like that, it was a write-off because it was a business meeting. So just some things to keep in mind when you are doing taxes. But make sure you take, after your first $600, which are tax-free, yay, you have to start putting money away for taxes. So be smart, put it in an account. You don't want to be stuck at the end of the year owing $20,000. Okay. Anybody have any questions about taxes? No questions.
I have something to add.
Mm-hmm.
So, in addition to having a PayPal account, make sure you have a separate account. It just is very helpful that you just use a debit card. You can link it to that bank account that you just use your Shakeology purchases. So, like, or any Beachbody purchases, because it's so much easier to upload those transactions as opposed to going through all of your bank statements. Like I had to for a whole year and add everything up and then save them in the event that anybody were to question them. So I don't know if you said that, Kaylee, but just having a separate account for your Beachbody payments, and you know, as you grow, if you have 3+ business centers, make sure they're all going to the same account, because it will really help you as you grow to make sure that you're taking care of your finances behind the scenes. Because the more money you make in this business, guys, it is going to have you start to pay a little bit more, because we have to handle our taxes. And like Kaylee said, you don't want to have to owe $20,000 at the end of the year for Beachbody for not putting them aside. And then I think Kaylee and I both are set up to where we'll be doing quarterly payments. So we'll pay some throughout the year as opposed to paying it all at the end.
Yeah. Kristen, are you laughing at me?
I was totally laughing at you. Bo and I are both totally laughing at you.
Yeah. Snap. Yeah, quarterly payments, fun times. I was told by Miss Kate Harris over here that, according to her accountant, for a multi-level marketing company, your first full year, you don't have to pay quarterly, which I didn't know. So, check with your accountants. If you don't feel like, I had an awesome accountant. If you don't feel like they can help you with the multi-level marketing aspect of it, please, please, please find somebody who can, because there are so many things that you can write off that most accountants are scared to write off because they don't want to get harassed by the IRS for something, or have to, put in the extra work just because they're not sure of it. But in the long run, it's making you pay a lot more to them, the IRS, that is. So you want somebody that's going to go to bat for you and that knows multi-level marketing and can help you in the long run. Okay. Okay. I'm going to stop recording.